Hello and welcome back to episode 2 of Live and Let Live. We're starting off once again with Prim not understanding personal space. I got up today and decided today is not it. Today is not the day to be grinding. I did a couple of productive things, but overall did not accomplish anything that I expected to, and drove 20 minutes for a coffee, and it's way too sweet. So today it's giving very like lazy day vibes. You know what? Recording today has actually been just such a hard thing. I feel like I have a lot of anxiety today, and it's making me like second guess myself so hard with everything that I'm saying and doing. So I think I just have to jump right into it and hopefully I can get out of that headspace. My cat just tried to jump on the windowsill. If you can't see these windowsills, they are not wide enough to support a cat. So that was crazy. She was just hanging there like the dad from The Lion King. Is that crazy that I don't remember his name? I remember Scar. Is it Mufasa? Yeah, that's what she looked like right there. I hope everyone's week is going well. Mine is very slow. It's been very slow at work, so I don't think my manifestation for making a bunch of money is going to come to fruition, but it's okay. You kind of accept that there are lulls when you are a server, and there's going to be nights that you're really busy and make a lot of money, and there's going to be nights where you don't make anything, but you know what? You just take the highs and the lows for what they are and move on. And there will be money making days, I'm sure. But the positive of it not being very busy is that I started a new book yesterday. So I started a book called Audition for the Fox. And I think that the premise of it is something that I actually have like never read before, which is so rare these days. I feel like a lot of the books I see on like BookTok and the ones people are really obsessed with, it's the same recycled story over and over again of like enemies to lovers, a lot of spice, and sorry, don't shoot me. I hate that. I literally hate it. I was really excited for Sarah J. Maas's series. Sarah J. Maas, sorry, I don't know. Either way, I was really excited for the A Court of Thorns and Roses because I had read her other series that was really popular, and it's been a long time, so I don't remember the name of it, but I read it and I really liked like the first 2 books of it or something. That was like so long ago, so I don't know, I just remember it being really well written and interesting about like this female assassin, and I really liked the premise of it. And then I read A Court of Thorns and Roses, and it was Beauty and the Beast, but very adult. And I was just like icked out by it. I will say the first half of the book was so good. I felt like the world building was really good. I loved the premise of it. And then it got into like the more adult stuff, and then the ending of the book and that like Rysand guy and her being kidnapped. No. She was her being held prisoner to pass these challenges, and then the riddle. And as you guys know, I love a riddle. It wasn't a good one, especially when the stakes are so high. I fear that the second half of the book just left me like I was like on such a high until getting over halfway through the book, and then I was like, oh. I do love Beauty and the Beast. I wasn't against it being inspired by that, but yeah, it just left me like, I don't know. I'm surprised it's as popular as it is. Some book series I've really, really loved. Obviously, Harry Potter. So good. I read it when I was 11, and, you know, he's 11 in the first book, so I felt like it really blew my mind being an 11-year-old, because I could just picture myself in his shoes so well, being that age. And I'd love to reread them. I still rewatch the movies all the time, and I just love Harry Potter. It's unfortunate that the author is the way she is, but you know what? I am separating the art from the artist there because I I still really do love Harry Potter. It really sucks. I saw recently that Emma Watson did a podcast interview, and she was talking about how she still holds love in her heart for the person that she knew. And I'm really happy for her that her experience being Hermione at such a young age and it being such a huge part of her adolescence, that she's able to look back at that with fond memories. I think that's the best thing you can ask for. And she really cherishes the person that she knew going into this and becoming Hermione and in that transformative period, and who J.K. Rowling is now is very disappointing and disgusting, to be honest. She's a bad person who did a good thing, I guess, is where I'll leave that. But yeah, I hate that for her. I hate that J.K. Rowling came back and said something about it, something negative, because I felt what Emma said was so gracious and really more intelligent than J.K. Rowling deserved in response to the hate that J.K. Rowling has put into the world. I recommend actually going and watching her podcast and reading J.K. Rowling's response to this instead of just taking it from me, because I'm sure I didn't get all the pieces of it, but that's what I took away from it. Yeah. Anyway, that was the first experience I had with a fantasy book, and it really liked taking me into another world, and it was a beautiful thing for me. I read each book and then watched the movie to it, and it was such a great time. I remember literally being angry when something would pull my attention out of the book, because it literally felt like I was like apparating into another space. Like it felt like I was in the book as a character experiencing these things, feeling these emotions when Dumbledore died. Oh my gosh. Which I've seen a lot recently of people saying that they hate Dumbledore. And I think Dumbledore is very intelligent and he did what he had to do. And in the grand scheme of things, if it's Harry's life or the entire wizarding world being ran by Voldemort, I think the obvious answer is yeah. And that was the prophecy. It's not like he came up with it. And I think Dumbledore also knew. I mean, he was waiting for him when the Horcrux in Harry was killed. He was there. I just don't think Dumbledore is this like bad guy. I really don't. I never got that from me reading it or rewatching the movies 100 times. Like I never felt that. So I was like shocked to see that people think Dumbledore's like awful. Beyond that, I really love Donna Tartt. She has written, like, I feel like I am transported back in time to when people were legitimate writers and they would write beautifully. Like, the stories nowadays are just written, they're written so poorly. The writing in them is just so, like, Wattpad that it's hard for me to get into it. But if you want to read something where it literally takes you somewhere and the writing is so beautiful, you should read A Secret History by Donna Tartt or The Goldfinch by Donna Tartt. And The Goldfinch, do not be scared of its size. I would say one of my favorite books of all time, and it was like my introduction into classics, which is kind of crazy because it's a little bit hard to decipher, but I feel like you just have to train that muscle in your brain to read and and like take in the language of a book to transport yourself there, and it takes effort, and that's okay. Like it's okay for a book to not be so easy to read. Wuthering Heights is one of those, like the version that I read, there was a character, he was like a groundskeeper. He was like a lower education. And the way that he talked, you actually could not decipher what it was saying because she wrote it like in his accent. And it would had like a translation in the back of the book that every time he spoke, I would have to go read the translation. And I eventually got to a point where I did understand him. I think that if you want to give yourself a challenging but fruitful and beautiful read that you will feel proud of when you're done with it, read Wuthering Heights. It's so ahead of its time. It's haunting. It's so good. Okay, I could sit and talk about books for actually ever, but beyond books, I want to talk about Dancing with the Stars this week. It was I hate to say underwhelming, but it was underwhelming. I feel like Dedication Night was such a high, and then we get Wicked Night, and I'm so hyped for Wicked Night. I love Wicked. I love Broadway. I love Ariana Grande. So Wicked Night, I was so excited for, and I just like felt like I was wanting more. I feel like giving tens halfway through the season for things that didn't wow me as much as things have wowed me in the past. I don't know. I felt disappointed, I guess. You know who actually did phenomenal? Phenomenal. It actually, like, okay. I think that we're just gonna do like my breakthrough dancer of the week. I think last week it was really Dylan, and this week it's Elaine. And I feel like more people should be talking about Elaine. I feel like we're only talking about Whitney and Robert and Andy, but like, let's talk about Elaine. That woman is amazing. And to hear her like package, I was watching it and I was thinking, oh my gosh, like she really is pushing her body to the limit. And so I was nervous. And then the dance, what? I don't think I could do that. And I'm 23. I don't think I could have someone holding on to my arms and legs and spinning me around like that and doing those lifts and just with such like beauty and grace. It was an amazing dance. I think that's the only thing that wowed me this week was her. I think Alex did very well and Robert did very well. Whitney, she did good, of course. I mean, she always does good, but her facial expressions really kill me. Her facial expressions just were not giving me Glinda. I don't feel like she was portraying the character. I feel like she was portraying herself, and it's like the same. Carrie Ann wants to talk about Danielle and say that she's doing the same dance over and over. That's how I feel with Whitney. I feel like besides Dedication Night, which was obviously like a more emotional dance, every other dance has given me the same exact vibe and feeling, and I didn't feel like she was in character. I didn't feel like she was giving anything different or new. I was actually kind of like cringing at her facial expressions. It just it felt like she was like making a TikTok video, not performing for Wicked Night for Dancing with the Stars, if that makes sense. I'm just kind of like unwowed by Whitney these days. So I think, yeah, Robert and Alex, Alex continues to really do amazing and improve, and you can tell she is so dedicated to it. Same with Robert. I feel like they're definitely going to the finals in my head. And the elimination, I was, you know what? I had come to terms with the fact it was time for Andy to go. He's great, but also Elaine is older. She's only like a few years younger than him, I think. And she is having issues with pain and with her body, and she's absolutely killing it, and you would think that she was a pro. Like, she's doing so good. I'm so glad Andy has made it halfway through the competition. I think it's been such a joy to see him. It really has. But do I think that he was better than Scott? No. I think Scott is a really good example of someone who's genuinely improving every single week. So it makes me sad that he went home on Wicked Night. I really love Riley too. So it made me very sad. It made me very sad to see him go and Andy stay in. Did I foresee him in the finals? No. So, you know, it's kind of like which week he was going to go home. In my personal opinion, sorry, have to be straight with everybody. Like, he just is not going. I really hope I'm not going to eat my words here, but he's just not going to the finals. Like, I think we should start thinking about who we want to win. This isn't like a super long competition. So, yeah, I feel really bad for Scott, and I would have felt really bad for Andy too, but I was fully prepared for Andy to go home. So I was very shocked that he did not. And everyone is so divided online about it. They're either like an Andy super fan or they're pissed that people voted for Andy. So, but I'm really so glad to see that it's like friendly fire. Like, I'm so glad people are not ruining this with negativity. We're just kind of having fun. And at least I haven't personally seen anything hateful towards people. Like, jokingly, like, guys, I even posted, like, why did we vote Scott off over Andy? And my comments were very divided, and I think it's, like, all in good fun at the end of the day. I hope everyone keeps it that way. Don't go too hard on Andy now. I mean, he still is a human being with feelings, and I think it's not the end of the world that he's still on the show. But that was just my perspective on it. And it was really sweet, actually, because my boyfriend actually had the idea of, like, let's carve pumpkins tonight while we watch Dancing with the Stars. He has no interest in Dancing with the Stars. He would not even finish watching a TikTok about Dancing with the Stars. But after every dance, he'd, like, stop what he's doing, watch the dance with me, and then he's like, so what do you think? What do you think their scores are gonna be? Do you think that was a 10? Do you think they deserve it? Like, just asking me so many questions about it, and I was just like, I really appreciate him getting into it for me and, like, making it intriguing and wondering my opinion about it. And I try to do the same thing with football when it's on, of like, so who are you rooting for? And, oh, is this a good thing? Or, like, when he's, like, excited about something, I'm like, what happened? I think that's such a good thing to be. You don't have to have the same interests as your partner, but to just care because they care. Our pumpkins, neither of us are artists. They're kind of hideous, but it is the journey. It was fun to do it. So here's our pumpkins. This is his right here with the creepy eyeballs. And this is mine with the messed up mouth. And then there's a little pumpkin with a kitty on it that his dad's neighbor gave him for his birthday. She got him a little bag of goodies, some cupcakes and candy corn and things like that. And then this little pumpkin with a little kitty drawn on it. So we put it with our pumpkins. It's our little pumpkin's baby. And yeah, that was really sweet of her. She's an angel. Another thing that I really wanted to mention that is very special on Tuesday evenings is Only Murders in the Building. I don't know if anybody else is watching Only Murders in the Building. I have watched it since it came out, and now they're releasing episodes every single week on Tuesday, and I think we're probably at the season finale next week. But I love Selena Gomez and everything that she does. And I think the show is so funny and so interesting and so different. So I got caught up on that. I watch that every Tuesday as well. A lot of things were revealed, and I'm kind of rooting for her to get with that billionaire. But that's just coming from me, someone who's broke. Like, if I was single in New York and a billionaire who was young and into me wanted to, like, take me to the Maldives, it would be really hard for me to say no to that unless I was making so much money. And that sounds very bad. That sounds very like I'm a gold digger, but be so for real. I'm rooting for her to get with him if he isn't a murderer, which I don't think he is. As for my top songs right now, my top songs right now are, let me look, because they have definitely changed over the past few days. I will make it clear, I am not currently going through a breakup, but I have always loved heartbreak music because I think it's so beautiful when someone is going through pain and they can make it into something beautiful, and you can tell how much it heals these people to put that out there. And even if I can't relate to it, I can still enjoy it, and I enjoy it a lot more because I'm not going through it. So, Things I Wish You Said by Sabrina Carpenter, her vocals are so good in that. My Future by Billie Eilish. I've always loved that song, and I really, really, really loved the Happier Than Ever era because you get halfway through a song and then she just, like, switches the song up to something else. My Future's like that. Happier Than Ever is obviously like that. Haley's Comet by Billie Eilish is beautiful, and the end of that song kind of switches up. I really enjoy it. And then yesterday, I did listen to pretty much the entire Hamilton soundtrack. I think the world's on another Hamilton kick because of the 10-year anniversary of Hamilton, and I'm really enjoying that. I love Hamilton. I've loved it since COVID when they released the recording on Disney Plus. That's the only place I've actually seen it. I haven't seen it in person as much as I'd love to. It's expensive. But when it came out in 2020, I was obsessed with it. My top songs from Hamilton are, oddly, I don't know why, I always go back to it. I enjoy singing along with it so much, is Aaron Burr, Sir. It's so clever. So, yeah, I love Burn. I think it is such an interesting way for Lin-Manuel Miranda to write that we don't really have her reaction. We don't really have Eliza's reaction to the cheating scandal. So when Burn plays and she sings in the song and she says, they don't get to know what I said, I'm burning the memories, burning the letters that might have redeemed you. It's such a good way to say, like, I don't know, bro. I don't know what she said. We don't know how she reacted. Yeah, I think that's a stroke of genius right there. Dear Theodosia is really good. Like, my boyfriend, he's not really into Hamilton, but he does love the song Dear Theodosia. Okay, let's see if I can find some unsolicited advice to give. Because my entire Facebook feed has been, like, am I overreacting? And I think that they're pretty interesting. So I'm just gonna scroll and see if I can find one. You know what? One day I will actually have these, like, written down before I start recording. But right now I'm just so excited to record that I just want to sit down and turn on the mic and just go from there and see what I can do with that. Okay, we're gonna rapid fire just the titles. If it's interesting enough, I'll click on them. But am I overreacting for thinking of leaving my boyfriend after he slapped me during an argument? No, you're not overreacting. Leave. After the first time someone hits you, you run. That is, no, it will never get better. Am I overreacting? My reply to my mom who wants to stop my leukemia treatment so my sister can afford university. No, I don't think you could overreact to that if someone wants your sister to go to college versus you surviving leukemia. Am I overreacting for asking my brother and his wife to move out after I found out they'd been using my bedroom when I wasn't home? You know, that is one thing that is a huge pet peeve of mine. It's always been so disrespectful to me to go into somebody's bedroom. I don't like sharing things. I don't want anybody in my bed. So, I don't know. No, you're not overreacting. Why would your brother and what? Your brother and his girlfriend or whatever? Anybody use your bedroom, and I'm guessing, I didn't read the full story, but I'm guessing it wasn't innocent, disgusting. Ew. Yeah, don't do that. Don't do that to anybody. That is so disgusting. Yeah, I would be kicking them out too. Bye. I don't really have much else to say. I feel like I am running on fumes here mentally. So I hope everybody has an amazing rest of the week. I'm going as Rapunzel, and my boyfriend's going to be Flynn Rider for Halloween. And that's going to be fun. I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to the Colts game Sunday. I think it's going to be really fun. And I'm looking forward to being around people and hopefully feeling a little bit less anxious the rest of this week. My manifestations are that I'm going to get the things done I need to get done. I need to mop my floors. I really hate mopping. I really want to start watching The Summer I Turned Pretty. Hopefully it has a decent plot. It's like I need something interesting to happen. But yeah, that's really all I have to say. Book recs of the week, just a recap. Anything by Donna Tartt, Wuthering Heights, Audition for the Fox, and I'm about to start reading. Once I finish this book, I'm going to start reading Somebody's Daughter by Ashley Ford. My brother raves about it. She is from Central Indiana. She's actually back in Indiana. She moved to New York, wrote a New York Times bestseller about her dad being in prison, and I've heard that it is extremely beautifully written and palatable and inspiring, and she's actually doing a lot of like speaking events, so I'd love to read the book and then go and watch her speak. She works in media in Indy, which is what I'm going to be doing once I get my bachelor's degree, so I hope I have the pleasure of meeting her. I know she's inspired a lot of people. Thank you for watching my second episode. I have yapped for far too long now, and I think half of this episode I was sitting here saying nothing. I just appreciate anybody who is supporting me. I'm generally a pretty quiet person. I like the comment I get the most is how quiet I am, so maybe this gives a space for me to kind of showcase my personality, my thoughts and opinions a little bit more without the social anxiety of tearing apart the conversation afterwards. Anyway, I'm going to stop talking. Thank you for listening. I hope you have a great week. Think positive things. A little advice from me is to try to stop yourself from complaining and genuinely find the silver lining. It will make or break your days, and you only have a limited number of days in this life. So think about everything positive you can. Every negative thought, try to react to it with a positive one. I'm really trying to do that myself and try to stop myself from complaining all day long, because I will. But, yeah, anyway, I love you all. Spread some more love into this world. Call your sister. Give your dog a kiss from me. And thank you. Bye.